We need to investigate this Blue Ridge Caravan Company immediately. Well, they have an office at the west end of the Big Bend Tunnel. Initiate! I'd like you to meet me there. But try not to attract too much attention either. If they realize we're in the Brotherhood, they may clam up. That's right. Fort Atlas is secure for the time being, and with Shin out of commission, I'd like to step in and do my part. This is our strongest lead by far. The two of us need to act quickly if we hope to safely return those that went missing. Thank you, Initiate. Ad Victorium.
Wait a second. I remember you. Ah, you're the bootlicker that were fielding questions for that angry knight fella, right? Finally decided that old Nap was worth helping out. Well, ask if you got questions. If it'll help find Cassie, that is. Oh, well, she's tough as nails and twice as sharp. The girl is like a, what do you call it, prodigy for farm work. She wrote saying she's moving to Foundation, share her knowledge and such. Sounded like a load of hooey to me, but I'd love to see her all the same. Because Cassie said so herself, or at least her letters did. She called them out by name a few times, said she hired them to provide safe travel. Of course, when I went and asked them myself, they played the fool. No, sir, we deliver cargo, not people. Bunch of lying sons of... every one of them. I'm not really one for socializing. I couldn't tell you. Just get her home safe.
Ah, there you are, friend. Sorry for the informality, but we should keep a low profile. Don't want to spook anyone that might be listening in. Huh. Don't get too used to that. But listen, I was hoping we could talk for a few minutes before we head upstairs. Let me buy you a drink. What do you say? Oh, cut the crap. I'm being real here. There's some things we need to hash out. Come on, pull up a stool. Great. Take a seat.
Oh boy, a customer! What can I get for you? I've got a container of nuclear waste in the back, but you don't look like much of a ghoul to me. So, how about a whiskey for now? Okay, here you go. Enjoy.
I'm going to need you to be standing by the end of this, you know. Salomati, my friend. Well, that's interesting phrasing. Join. Never really thought about it that way. I was already in the National Guard, helping people, maintaining peace. That was my life. The Brotherhood didn't feel like a new organization. It felt like regrouping with my people. A return to form. Maybe some ranks and verbiage changed, but the heart of it was there. I'm not sure I even gave it a second thought. No, I don't think it's quite as simple as a bait and switch. When the founders started out, I genuinely believe they were fueled by a desire to protect people from the horrors of the old world. But time changed them. Paid too much attention to what they did and how, but lost sight of why. The people. Sometimes I think... No, I'm certain that I was selected for this mission in order to remove my perspective and influence. The Elders saw my pull and experience as a threat and knew I would never align with their goals. What better way to prevent my meddling than to send me packing on a cross-country venture? I often wonder if they ever expected me to report in at all. To make it here alive. Joke's on them, I guess. Alan Connors. That's right. Dear, dear friend. The two of us were from the same unit in the National Guard. Alan had been my rock through every storm I weathered. We survived the bombs together, joined the Brotherhood together. He was more than my right hand. He was really a lifelong companion. And never really, not just to me either, to both Valdez and Shin. He was like a big brother, even a father. He was always there for them. That's the part that gets to me. He was an important person to damn near everyone. It's what makes his absence hurt even more. Almost certainly. When we lost Alan, Shin stepped up to take on many of his responsibilities. It led him to fall back on what he knows. Rules and doctrine. He doesn't trust anyone else to help him see beyond that. Not like he trusted Al. And because of me, because of a call I made, we all lost him. I know Shin will never forgive me for it. No. I was the commanding officer. Blame starts at the top. That's one subject the two of us agree on. I'll let that one slide, since we're off duty, so to speak. But don't for a minute think that you're in a position to lecture me on the responsibilities of my station. If anything, I fought against my better instincts and went with a plan that I myself doubted. But that kind of reflection is fruitless. I made the final call. The burden lies on my shoulders. I hope, at least, you can start to see things from my perspective. I think that's a fine idea. To whom? Yes. To Knight Alan Connors. Bisalamati. Now, on to business. Let's head upstairs. And remember to keep a low profile. We're just a pair of friendly traders looking for potential business.
Herschel Klein, author, reveler of life, aspiring playwright. Always with the questions about Blue Ridge. No one's interested in reading the latest with a special foreword written by Billingsley. Fine. The Blue Ridge Caravan Company is a caravan company. Hard as it is to believe, given its incredibly cryptic and nondescriptive name, I know. People pay us money to get things from one place to another place. If you want work, head over to the east side of the tunnel and talk to Vinny. Rumor has it that the folks in the crater are actually astronauts that came down. Or at least that's what one of them told me the last time they mugged me. Said he couldn't tell me what the caps were for. Highly classified. Yeah.
I'm afraid my calendar is all out of room for idle chatter, dear.
Ms. Mayfield, my name is Layla. I made an appointment to speak with you.
Please, Joanna is just fine, dear. And while all this cloak and dagger hubbub is flattering, why don't we cut to the chase, Paladin Romani?
Well, that was short-lived. Okay, Joanna. It appears I underestimated you.
And looky there. You've got one of these famous vault dwellers in tow. Oh, and I know this one. Made a splash around here. Say, when are you planning to provide some of that skill to my caravans?
I'd appreciate if the job offers were saved for later. We're here on pressing business.
Okay, Paladin. Down to brass tacks, then. It's not an accident that I finally opted to meet with you, after playing hard to get for so long. We know you're interested in the folks that have gone missing. We are too. Been looking into it for a spell now. Plain and simple, I wanted to handle this internally. I didn't want news of this stirring up a panic, maybe causing the perpetrators to flee. Our clients paid us for safe transport, and we failed them. It was our responsibility to solve it discreetly. I'm sure you can appreciate that. As for deceiving Mr. Knapp, well, I dislike fibbing. But sometimes you've got to play your cards close to your chest, especially when lives are at stake.
I don't buy it. Sounds more like you were trying to prevent future clients from being scared off. It makes me wonder if this sudden cooperation isn't in the interest of helping others. Maybe you've just been caught.
I'd be offended by these accusations if it didn't weave such a fascinating story. Are you planning to sell that as a dime novel? Well, if you're wondering why my organization would choose to dodge your calls, examine the attitude with which you've started this conversation. This pseudo-authority you're flaunting is exactly the type of oppression and regulation that my free enterprise can do without. And what, pray tell, is that, darling?
We found correspondence from our suspects claiming they were acquiring people from Blue Ridge. It seems to me that your company has been transporting people in a different way than you've advertised. And involuntarily at that.
We've always been upfront and honest with this venture. The routes are dangerous, and our Brahmins sure as hell don't smell like roses. Everyone who works with us gets the straight truth. And I certainly don't take too kindly to what you're implying. I could stand here and deny your allegations every which way to Sunday. But I know you won't just take my word for it. So if you've got some hard evidence to prove my people were involved in this little scheme, show it. Otherwise, this letter of yours sounds more like we're the target, not co-conspirators. All right. That's fine by me.
Right now, the most important thing is finding everyone that has gone missing and returning them home. Being upfront with your involvement in this now will be looked upon favorably, because we're not stopping until this is solved and they are safe.
Slow down, Paladin. This is not an admission of guilt or an attempt to weasel out of responsibility. We are just as concerned about these folk as you. We're willing to cooperate in hopes of saving lives, nothing else. And if you're hoping I'm about to spill the beans on some secret abduction scheme, you're out of luck. We have the same goals as you in this.
Honeyed words, but we should proceed. What can you tell us about the people that went missing from your caravan?
Better to just let you take a look for yourselves. Ares! Come on in here!
This guy looks like some kind of guard. Probably armed. Don't take your eye off him, Initiate. Despite Miss Mayfield's silver tongue, I'm not entirely convinced. Let's not start a shootout, but just stay cautious.
You rang, boss?
Harper's Ferry, the train tunnel. Mind showing our guests the route?
Oh, crap. You really want to go back there?
That was exactly my thinking, Ares. Head on over to that tunnel and show this duo of detectives the scene of the crime. Does that sound amenable to y'all?
The train tunnel itself isn't so important, but underneath is a top-secret gas pipeline running all the way out of the region. It's a pretty discreet route. Safe, too, comparatively. Except, the most recent trip. Well, the last known whereabouts of one of our caravans. They set up camp there, but come morning, the entire place was abandoned. It was a big group, maybe around 15, including our own guard.
You've lost that many people? And we're only just now hearing about this.
That's on me. I chose to keep this off the books. May be a bad call, but let's save examining hindsight for when we've gotten to the bottom of this.
Okie dokie, I'll meet you there. It's the big fancy train tunnel, just east of Harper's Ferry.
Now, time is money, and I've burned a bottle and plant worth of caps chatting with you two. So if you don't mind, please direct any further inquiries to my masked associate.
Fine. But after reviewing the evidence, I plan to revisit Blue Ridge's involvement in this matter.
By all means. If you find something that gets us answers, we can talk till the Brahmin come home. You and your paladin can learn a thing or two about subterfuge, darling. She needs to work a little harder to hide that high and mighty aura of hers.
Harper's Ferry train tunnel. Be there or be not there. What else did you need? Oh, just a little something to help me breathe. And to keep my jaw attached. You know what they say. Play with fire, get burned. Play with killer robots, get your face ripped off. What? Where? The train tunnel itself isn't so important, but it's a pretty discreet route. Hard to say. The campsite was pretty much undisturbed, just empty. Spooky stuff. Ghosts, probably. Or a ghost train. Train ghost? One of those. Tell me which one of those two things, and only those two things, it was when we get there, okay? Well, the last known whereabouts of one of our caravans. It was a big group. Maybe... Bring snacks.
Let's regroup at the Harper's Ferry train tunnel. Safe travels.
Don't like the fog. Just a mist makes it harder to see. I got here first. Go find some other spot.
Initiate, glad you made it here safely. That Ares character is further ahead. I should mention, every instinct I have is telling me not to trust him. It seems we don't have much choice for the time being. As I mentioned before, this isn't my first time dealing with a caravan group like this. More than once, we discovered that slavers had been using the guise of a caravan to collect and transport people. Blue Ridge using a dark corner like this for their operations only raises my suspicions. All right, you take... Guns at the ready. I spotted some feral ghouls earlier.
It's good to have a place to rest for a bit. Long trips on the... Sure. Fine by me. Want to get personal? Okay. Couldn't hurt to answer a few questions. My family goes back generations in Detroit. But my path has led me. When the bombs hit, I was about a year from getting my MD at a unit. I traveled all around after that. Well, if you're asking if I was able to get a piece of paper and a title before the world turned sideways, time wasn't on my side. But the world has changed a lot since then, and you could fill a library with the sort of nonsense ailments that our wonderful wasteland can produce. So am I a doctor? No. My family, when the bomb, I traveled all around. Well, time wasn't on, but the world has changed a lot since then. And you could feel... So am I a doctor? No. But am I a doctor? You better believe it. Would you look at the time? I've got a very, sick patient. I'm gonna need to review these charts here for a few hours. Maybe the next day or two. All right, then.
The spot we're looking for is further in the facility. There's a trick to getting in. Give me one shake of a lamb squatch's tail to get it open. Let's see, 30 days past September, carry the 2.
Is this for real?
Yeah. It's just a little further ahead. Please, after you.
Fine. But don't think we aren't keeping an eye on you.
I can't blame you. I know I'm a real looker. Being back here again even gives me the creeps. And trust me, that's saying something. Okay, the cab's just past this door here. I'll get it open. And that's bad. Oh, that's very bad.
Speak, Ares. What's a holdup?
You're not gonna like this. Follow me. Yep, just like I thought. Let's chat. Welcome to the 9th Circle of Hell. First, the good news. It's bring your own paramilitary night, so the paladin drinks for free. Just your run-of-the-mill illegal natural gas pipeline, courtesy of the fine people at the Bish Company. A bit before the war, Bish offered to maintain this historic train tunnel out of the goodness of their cold, corporate hearts. And wouldn't you know it, they may have had an ulterior motive. The bad news is that I can't unseal that door. Here's the quick version. Clever little me locks that door by setting off a bogus gas leak alarm. But it looks like in order to lift the lockdown, you need to verify there's actually no gas leak. The door is real picky like that. We ferried a lot of people through these tunnels. Didn't want any of our former clients trying to use it. Not for business reasons or anything. We just didn't want anyone else going missing down here. Oh, I'd love to, but there's a little problem. If you'll cast your steely gaze to the left, you'll see a massive, impenetrable wall of strangler vines. To verify there's no gas leak, we need to get to the pump room. One guess where the pump room is located. Winner, winner, rad steak dinner. There were some engineers living down here well after the bombs fell. Looks like they lasted a few years even. Which means they had a way of fighting back the vines. Maybe start by looking for how they did that. I snooped around a bit when I first recommended the route to Joanna. There's some offices that were clearly being used as bunks for a while. Not sure what happened to them. It almost looks like they just dropped dead on the spot. That's not a bad omen, is it? I don't know. They're all over this region, though. Hard as hell to cut, and they grow like they hold a grudge. In a past life, I used to work with these pencil-pushing sociopaths in suits. Well, not at this facility, but I was in the know about their various nefarious dealings in the region. Mm-hmm. I'll just skulk here in the corner in case another way of opening this door comes to mind. Let me know if you have any luck. Try not to die a terrible death.
This sounds like a very contrived way of getting us killed. Stay sharp, Initiate. Initiate, look there, behind that gate. Seems like some kind of thrown-together lab. Do you suppose they were making something to deal with the vines? I think I see some kind of chemical on the ground there. We need to find a way to unlock this door. Open sesame seed, eh? I've always been more of an everything bagel person. sound of it, they wrote the numbering system down so they wouldn't need to remember it. Must be around here somewhere. Looks like we'll need more than just a password to get through. Some kind of code for turning words into numbers, it seems. So, I guess we'll need to find a way to change open sesame seed into a series of numbers.